even certain grievances that he has experienced himself. There's also an anecdote from the 1980s where Trump himself was the recipient of a tariff policy from Japan that has also, people point to, been one of the reasons why this is such a sticking point for him. But Charlie, when he has expended such ideological flexibility on other issues that are central to his platform, like the war in Iran, why hasn't that translated here?
Because this is a fetish for Donald Trump. Donald Trump has had a fetish for tariffs going back to the 1980s, and it is an idea that is fixed in his head. But I would just throw in, since we're talking about history, I would like to throw in two words: Smoot-Hawley. One of the most extraordinary things about the new tariffs is that Donald Trump, as the workaround of the Supreme Court decision, is going back to authority that was included in the 1930 Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act, which is notorious, a notorious piece of legislation in the administration of Herbert Hoover, widely regarded by economists as creating, real economic harm and extending and deepening the Great Depression. No president has ever invoked this particular power before. But what's really interesting, what I'm fascinated by, is this: a couple of weeks ago, Donald Trump was saying that one of the reasons why he was so anxious to sign that memorandum of understanding with the Iranians was that if the war went on, it would create a global economic catastrophe. And then he specifically said that he did not want to be remembered like Herbert Hoover. Well, Herbert Hoover is largely remembered because of things like the Smoot-Hawley Act. So you want to talk about a little bit of historical resonance going on right now. But this is just another indication, I think, of where Donald Trump is allowing his ideological fetishes to make him tone deaf to the political and economic realities of the moment.
Yeah, and Josh, I want to bring you in here. I mean, despite the fact that Americans have now consistently and overwhelmingly polled that they disapprove of these tariffs, you argue essentially in your New York Times piece that whether or not the United States likes these tariffs, they have essentially become structurally permanent. And that is because, I mean, you can do a better job of explaining this than I can, but because the bond market now depends on the revenue and it is baked in. And so that whoever comes in after the president can't just undo this. And you also argue that this latest round of tariffs is different in terms of its sticking points. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
That's right. I think